This video is the walkthrough of DC9 vulnerable mission. So let's begin. So the first step is to find the IP address. For that I'm using sudo scan. So I got the IP address. So here I'm using nmap scan. So nmap is the network mapper tool and -sp stands for the service version, and this is the target IP address. So we got two ports, which is port 22 SSH and port 80, which is HTTP. So port 22 is filtered port and port 80, which is HTTP is open. So if HTTP is open, then we can open a browser and search the IP on the browser to the website. So let's open the browser and search the IP here. So this is the website. So in this website we got home. So let's view the page source. So in the page source I could not find anything suspicious, so I'm closing the page source. So here we have display all records, and we have some information about the users, like the email, phone, position, name, ID of some users. Up to 17 users informations are here. And here is the search option. You can search using either the first or last name. So this is the username Mary Mo. So let's search using the last name. Yeah, it is working. So here the manage option, where you have the option for entering the username and password, login to manage the codes. So here we have the search option, right? So let's enter 1. So you have to enter the first name or last name, right? So let's try SQL injection. So some pages like this are vulnerable to SQL injection. Let's enter the SQL code, single quote, or 1 = 1 hash. Yeah, we were able to inject SQL code and we were able to get this. So this is vulnerable to SQL injection. So we can open the burp suite. We can configure the add-on, like you can use proxy or inbuilt, like you can use proxy. So I'm here using proxy. I'm just adding it. If you're new, then you can add like what I'm showing here. Like in the proxies, I need to click add, and I need to go to hostname is 127.0.0.1 and the port is 8080. I'm clicking save. That's all. So I'm just closing the windows. So I'm starting the proxy. Now I am going to intercept this request. I'm going to capture this request. Okay, so I'm enabling the intercept option and I'm entering Mary and clicking the submit. As you can see, we were able to intercept it. So we got the request. So I'm right clicking and I am copying this to a file. So I'm copying this as check.txt file. So we know that this has SQL injection vulnerability, so we can use the tool SQL map. So this is the file that we saved, check.txt right now. So you can use SQL map. So here I am using SQL map and -r for specifying the file. So this is the check.txt. So and --dbs for specifying finding the databases. As you can see, it looks like the backend DBMS is MySQL. We want to skip test payloads. So we can press Y. As you can see, for the remaining tests we want to include all tests for MySQL. So let's click Y. So it's testing. So we know that it is vulnerable to SQL injection. So use the tool SQL map. So this is the SQL map tool and -r to specify the text file. So this is a file that we captured. This is the request that we captured using burp suite, and -dbs to for getting the database. As you can see, post parameter search is, do you want to keep testing the other? So post parameter search. is vulnerable. As you can see, it is vulnerable. Search post parameter is vulnerable. You want to keep testing the others. So we know it is vulnerable, then we don't want to test others. I press N. So as you can see, we got information like information schema, staff, users. We got 3 databases. These are the available databases. So you can enter the same command, and you can enter minus capital D for specifying the database, and we need the staff. So I am just using minus D, and I need the staff and specifying minus table. I want the tables in the staff. As you can see, we got staff details here. So I need to open the staff details table. So and minus columns. So these are the contents in the staff details like position, email, first name, ID, last name, phone, register, data. So we don't need this. So we can just go back to staff minus tables. As you can see, we have users. So we can view the users table. So minus capital T to view the users table, we need to find the columns. So I'm entering columns. So as you can see, we got the username and the password. So we have to view the username and password. So SQL map is the tool that we are using. Minus R to specify the text file, and minus D, capital D, to specify the database, and minus capital T to specify the table, and minus column for listing all the columns. So these are the columns that we got. So we need a password and username column. So I am specifying minus capital C for columns. So we need username and password. So comma password. And we can use the command minus dump to dump username and password. So do you want to store hashes to a temporary file for eventual further processing with other tools? So we don't want to store hashes to a temporary file, so I'm pressing N. So do you want to crack them via dictionary attack? So we can crack them using dictionary attack. So any custom dictionary file, so we don't have any file, so now I'm not mentioning any file, so I'm pressing enter. Do you want to use common password suffix? So as you can see, it's slow, so it will take a lot of time, so I'm currently not using any suffix. So I'm pressing no. As you can see, the process is started, so it is cracking the password, as you can see. So no clear password zone, so it could not crack the password. So we got the username, which is admin, and the password, which is an MD5 code. So as you can see, it's an MD5 generic passwd. So we got the username as admin and the password as this. So we can open the browser and search for we can now stop the Foxy proxy. We can now close the verb suite. You can search for a website called CrackStation. So CrackStation is a website where you can use the website for cracking passwords like MD5, SHA-1 and more. So I am pasting the hash in this website and click crack hashes. As you can see, we are able to crack the hashes. So this is the password. So we can open a notepad, and what we got here is the username, which is admin, and the password is this. Okay, we got the username and the password. As you can see, this is the username and this is the password hash. So we cracked it using CrackStation, and we got the password. We stored it in a mousepad. Okay, so we can move back. As you can see, we have a manage option. So you would have an option for entering username. So we can check enter the username here, and the password, we can copy the password and enter it here. As you can see, logged in as admin. We were able to log in as admin. So by entering that details, we were able to log in as admin, right? So as you can see, file does not exist. It does not contain any files. So it does not contain any files. So you can move back to this terminal in the SQL injection terminal, where we only viewed staff details, right? So as you know, when we move back, you can see that what we look for is the staff database, right? So when you enter this command like minus dbs for viewing the databases, we got 3 databases, right? So information schema, staff, users. So we viewed the staff, but we missed the users. Okay, so let's view the details of users from here also. So we can use the comment. We have to view the database of users and minus tables, and we got user details. So we have to open the user details table. So we have to view the columns. So we got username and password here. So we can use -t for specifying the column. So we need a username and with the password from this, and you can use --done. As you can see, we got lots of usernames and lots of passwords here. So let's just save this in a text file. Okay, it will be useful in future. Okay, let's copy it, and you can just create a mousepad. So you can use any AI tools for copying this. So here I'm just using Bing AI, a copilot. So I'm just entering select username. As you can see, the AI will select usernames for me. So these are the usernames. So I'm clicking copy, and I am entering in the mousepad, and I am saving it as users.txt. Okay, and in the AI I need select password. As you can see, I got the password. So this is the purpose of using AI. We can use AI for this purpose of making our task easier. So we can use AI. So I'm copying this and pasting it here and save it as trash.txt. So the purpose of SQL map is over. So we found 3 databases, and what we need is 2 databases, the staff database and the users database. So we visited both databases. We visited staff database and find the admin username and admin password, and we used the users database and we found lots of usernames and lots of passwords. We saved as users.txt the usernames and the pass.txt the passwords. Using AI, you can make the task easier. So you are able to log into this website using this credential. As you can see, you are logged in as admin. As you can see, file does not exist. So there is a possibility of LFI, which is local file inclusion. It is saying that file does not exist. So we can enter like file. It's saying that it does not exist. So let's look for some LFI vulnerabilities. So you can use // up to anytime. And we can press enter. As you can see, this is vulnerable to LFI, which is local file inclusion. So you can use this // up to anytime, but if you use // up up to 2 times or some time, so sometimes it will not come. So using // more times is better than using // less time. So that is why I'm entering // a lot of times. Okay, as you can see, file does not exist, and you can right click and click the view page source. So let's close this. Let's right click here and view page source. So we are unable to view that. So anyways, so this is our file. So we were able to find that it has vulnerable to local file inclusion. So we got usernames janitor. Let's right click and view the page source. But we were not able to find this in the page source. Okay, anyways, you got this information, right? So we found that there's a user janitor and janitor 2 user, and some usernames in the etc passwd. So we know that the port 22 SSH is filtered. right? So here we need to perform port knocking. Okay, port knocking. So for that, there is a file in your etc. There is a file called knockd.conf, like knockd.conf. As you can see, this is the knockd.conf, which is located in etc. So when you view this knockd.conf, you got a sequence. So this sequence is helpful for port knocking. Okay. So we know that SSH is not open, SSH is filtered, so we want to open the port SSH. So that is why we are going to etc and we viewing the file knockd.conf. So here we got a sequence. Okay. So now we are using a tool called knock. If you are not installed this tool, then you can press Y to install, enter your password. After installing the tool, you can enter knock -v and the sequence, I think, yeah, knock -v and the IP address of our target machine. So the IP address is this. So this is the IP address of our target machine and the sequence. So knock is the tool for port knocking and -v, and this is the IP address and this is the sequence. Okay, then you press enter. So got some error. So I think you can specify knock -v. So yeah, I found an error. Like you don't have to specify comma, so just remove all the commas, press enter. Yeah, we got hitting TCP 3 times, so we are able to knock the port. So knock for port knocking, and this is the IP and this is the sequence that we get by entering this command etc knockd.conf. So what happens here is we were able to open this filtered SSH. Okay, when you enter nmap and the IP address, you're able to see that the port 22 SSH, which was filtered previously, was now open. Using port knocking method, we were able to open it. Okay, now we know that we have some credentials like users.txt, pass.txt and the credentials we have. Let's try you log in using SSH using these credentials. So for that, I'm using brute forcing tool Hydra and -L for specifying the users list, which is users.txt, -Q for specifying the path list, which is pass.txt, and the IP address of our target machine, and we need to log into SSH. So that is why I'm using SSH. So Hydra started the brute forcing. So when you enter etc passwd here, you can see the last user here is janitor2, janitor as the last users, right? So you can go here and wait for Hydra to crack the passwords and usernames. As you can see, we got a username which we were able to log in using this password in SSH. Okay, the second username is Joy and the password is password. So we can open a terminal. So let's close this SQL map, so which we don't need, so you can close it. So as you can see, we got the third user janitor. As I previously mentioned, the last user in etc passwd is janitor, so the priority that we need to give to janitor. So let's try login as janitor. Okay, so for that we can use SSH and the username janitor, so just copy and paste should be good. Username and the password, username at the IP address, like the IP address is this. You can enter S, and the password is that we cracked. We can copy and paste the password here. Yeah, we were able to log in So when you enter ls, you could not see anything. When you enter ls minus all to view the hidden files, you can see dot are the hidden files, and dot bash history dot gnupg, which are our usual files. But here we got something suspicious like secrets for Putin, which is in hidden directory. As you can see, it's a hidden directory. So we can view this, which is a directory. So we can move to this directory using cd command. And when you enter ls, as you can see, there's a txt file which is located. So you can use cat and view the txt file. As you can see, we got some, as you can see, passwords found on post it notes.txt. So we got some more passwords. So we can copy these passwords and we can open the mousepad. We have our pass.txt list. We can add these passwords into our list too. So we can save. So in the meantime, we can start attacking again. So we can start brute forcing using Hydra tool again, because we got some more passwords, right? I'm pressing the enter button. In the meantime, let's go here and let's enter the command sudo -l for privilege escalation. As you can see, respect for privacy of others thing before you take. With great power comes great responsibility. So here we can enter the password of the janitor that we cracked previously. As you can see, sorry, user janitor may not run sudo on DC9. So the user janitor may not run sudo. So we got some passwords, right? So maybe we need to log in as some of other users. Like, so in our previous crack, we got 3 passwords, right? So these are the 3 passwords that what we got, and we got priority to janitor and open the login using SSH. And we got some more passwords in janitor. So there we got a new user called Fredov. So these 2 users like Chandler and Joy will be available on our previous crack, but we got some new passwords and crack. So we got a new user called Fredov. So you can log in as the new user, which is Fredov. So you can just exit it and SSH username and password. And the password of Fredov user is this. You can paste it. As you can see, when you enter ls, you cannot see anything. When you enter ls minus all, you can see some hidden files. These are some usual files, so nothing suspicious here. You can enter sudo -l. As you can see, root. So we were able to use using the user of Fredov. So when you go back, so the Fredov is only new user that we get using the credentials that we added. So these are all the users that we got before. So we understand that we can log in as root using this Fredov user. As you can see, so test is a file which will execute. Okay, so we can move to this directory using cd command. Now we have test. When you enter ls-l test, you can see it has all the permissions: read, write, execute, and it has the execute permissions for all the users. As you can see, we were able to root using this. So we can execute this and we can become a root. So for that you have to think. So we have a file called etc passwd. We can view that passwd file, and we got this much of users, right? So we need to become root, right? So here I am just copying the etc passwd result of root. This is the root. So here we know that we can, this file, the test file here, is executable for all the users. As you can see, it is executable for all the users, this test file. So I'm just opening the mousepad and opening a new mousepad and pasting this. So this is the root. We can create a user in etc passwd using this executable test. For that, I am creating the username as hacker and the X is the password hash. So for that, I'm opening a terminal and I'm using a tool called OpenSSL and -1 passwd, and we are going to create a password called hack. It's the password that I'm going to create. pressing the enter button. So something went wrong. So open SSL. You can enter the command open SSL passwd -1 and the password. Okay, we got the password hash. We can copy the password hash, and instead of the X you can paste the password hash here, and this is the username and this is the password hash. This is the UID, user ID, and this is the group ID, and this is the full name of user or anything. You can enter anything like Arun, and this is the home directory. So you can specify the home directory as /home/root, and this is the shell. So I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna create a file in temp directory using the nano command, nano temp, and I'm gonna create a file named AK in the temp directory. Then I'm gonna paste this, and I'm gonna save it. So when you enter ls-l/emp, you can see our file AK. So when you enter cat /tmp/ak, you can see this is the content in the folder AK. So we know that the test is executable, so we can enter the command sudo /test for executing the test, and we need to move this file, like the file in temp AK, right? We need to move this file to etc passwd. So sudo /test to execute the test, so we know the test will be able to become a root. So we want to copy this content in the temp /ak to etc passwd, and you enter. As you can see, we were able to perform this action. So when you use cat /etc/passwd, you can see this is the user that we created using this command. Then now you can enter to which user to hacker. As you can see, the password that we created is hack. As you can see, this is the hack, which is what we created. So we can enter hack. Now we are able to become root, as you can see. So now we can move to root directory, and you enter ls. You can see the flag. You can view the flag using cat command. Done. So that's all about this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.